Coach, it seemed like a total team effort tonight on kind of all three phases. Can you just talk about, every phase of the game? You guys seemed like you were successful.
Yeah, I thought today we were able to put it all together at times, and we played well, very well at times. I thought our defense was lights out. You look at them shutting the opponent's offense out in the first half. To come back the second half, they got a quarterback draw that went the distance, and then after that, we kind of buckled down and did the things necessary to prevent them from getting in the end zone. Certainly at the back end of the game, you want to keep the ball in front of you. We did those things to try to make them go the distance. But when you talk about four turnovers, and right before half, to have that big momentum swing with the goal line stands and scoop in an attempted score was fabulous. And then at the back end of the game, when they yet again tried to get the game within 7 points, and we put the defense back on the field, they responded. I thought the offense did the things necessary. When we created turnovers twice, once we were able to get a 3-point field goal. The next time we were able to go down there and score touchdowns. And then at the back end of the game, to see our offensive line put the team on their shoulders and drive the ball down there and run it in the end zone was certainly something vindicating for us as a team. I thought we did things well in spots from a special team standpoint, but we'll worry about those things on Sunday. Right now, we're enjoying a great team victory for our team. Very proud of it.
Let's go from here to Tim.
Frank, I thought you guys were supposed to be tired after last week, after the big overtime game. What about the resiliency those guys putting that behind and coming out and playing like they did?
You know what, to respond like that's always a big thing. Such an emotional situation last week in a 5 overtime game that was played so tough, and to come up on the short end of the stick and then to respond against a team that was playing very well in our conference, had 2 back-to-back wins, and an offense that would go down the field, and a defense that created turnovers, 10 interceptions, and as we talked about before, 2 interception back-to-back games. We did the thing that was most important. We took care of the football, and we did not give it to them. And defensively, we took it away from them. I think that was a huge part of the victory today. The offense doing the things necessary to protect the ball, and the defense creating turnovers.
Frank, you talked about North Texas blitzing a lot. It seemed like Dalton had all day today, a lot of the time. Talk about your offensive line play.
Sometimes. They got to us sometimes. They would bluff and then come and bluff and come. And then a couple of, honestly, it wasn't necessarily schematically where we did not know where they were coming from. We knew where they were coming, and a couple of guys, just unfortunately from a technical or technique standpoint, we fell a little short. And then we were able to calm ourselves and communicate more effectively and pick them up. And at the back end of the game, when we were able to get in certain formations and downs and distance, once we picked up their new tendency, which was different from what they were doing, we were able to then take shots and throw the ball downfield because we were able to see it, which was different from our game, from their scouting report. And so hats off to our coaching staff in recognizing that and then putting our team in position to move the ball down the field.
Coach, all the way to your right, Jerry.
Coach, North Texas has sort of made a living this season off of creating turnovers. They got 7 last week up at Army. How were you guys able to avoid falling into that trap with them? I mean, you guys did a good job taking care of the ball. What were you doing right out there?
What we always try to do, we have a creed, and it's titled "It's All About the Ball," and we say it as a team every Wednesday on No Turnover Wednesday for the offense and Turnover Wednesday for the defense. And our creed is something that's sincere, that we say from the bottom of our heart. And basically, one line that I'll share with you guys is, this ball is the pride and tradition of UTSA football. It will not be entrusted in the hands of the timid nor the weak. And there's some more lyrics or lines, stanzas that go with it. But that ball is the heartbeat of our football team, and we protect it with everything that we have. I thought we were conscientious of it, and we made sure that we took care of it, and I think on defense we went after it. Anytime there was a loose ball, I was more than sure that we would have an opportunity of getting it because of the heavy emphasis on a daily basis that we talk about with the football.
JJ?
Coach, your defense had several goal line stands. Was it just specifically one right before halftime.
Yeah.
How good was that in today's victory?
Yeah, you know what, they at times bent but never broke, and to see those guys come off the football and play with the aggressiveness that we were looking for and push the pocket, and their quarterback is slippery now. He was able to wig out of there a couple of times, and then at times we were able to put a hat on him and wrap him up and get him to the ground. But our defensive line came off the ball key, and just great first steps getting off, and then our linebackers were in position to be able to fit it as well. And so I thought our game plan defensively as well as offensively was on point. That let us beat a very, very quality football team today.
Frank, the TV replays kind of looked like Marcus's injection was a little bit specious. I'm wondering if you might consider talking to the league office between now and, say, early in the week to see if they can overturn that.
Yeah, we certainly will. You know what happened, and I didn't know what it was because it wasn't a late hit. I didn't think he led with his helmet. He was coming off of a block, and he went to make the tackle, and Marcus is 6'6", the quarterback is 5'10", and so to get that low to target him is challenging, and so to get him in his sternum or chest area, and he tried to do that, and you know, I don't know, I didn't see the replay. I would have to see it on film. But we respectfully understand the sportsmanship, and we're about protecting our quarterbacks. But we'll review it, and if it's in question, it's certainly something that we'll appeal.
Steven? Coach, with 1 month left in the season, possibly a bowl, but sitting at 4-4, sitting at 4-4, what were y'all's mentality going forward?
Get ready for our next opponent. Get number 5. We celebrate the number. Today the number was 4. Next week the number will be 5. And so what's most important is Middle Tennessee and our ability to go there and to compete and play well against a very, very good football team. And it'll require us to be at our very best, and we will be. We'll prepare accordingly, and we'll go there and we'll compete.
Got officiating calls again. They called a grounding call on Dalton on that on the gadget play.
Yeah.
I thought you couldn't do that if you were a quarterback. You know, a play like that would be a grounding call.
They called it.
I mean, but it shouldn't have been that call, though, right?
No, that's a correct call. Even though he's a quarterback, he didn't get the initial snap. So had he gotten the initial snap, and even if it was then reversed and then handed off to him, he would have been protected. But him lining up as a receiver and then getting the reverse, it's like a wide receiver throwing the ball away. And so it doesn't protect him anymore. That was the proper call.
Frank, is that what big boy pants look like?
Yeah, we put on our big boy pants and recognized that no one was feeling sorry for you. They were a little chippy in pre-game and during the game, and we reminded our teams that we would play between the whistle. We play with class, we'll play with toughness, we'll play with the UTSA road runaway, and we'll let our hats do the talking. And we did that. I'm very proud of our team and the way they competed today.
You have time for a couple more questions, if there are any?
Thank you guys so much. Go Runners.
Thanks, Frank.